Well, hello there, friends, and welcome to Virtual Strangers 85. I'm your host, Wes. With me, as always, my good friend Roots. Roots, what a week for VR, my friend. I mean, we've got news coming left and right. It seems like Oculus Link was better than Virtual Desktop for about 5 minutes. And then Gigoed in, went and sacrificed the baby to the devil and chanted out a few words. And now all of a sudden, Virtual Desktop's back to the top of the mountain again, huh?
I don't know what's going on, Wes. I keep going back and forth. I literally was just telling my stream one day that I'm done with Link or with a virtual desktop because it's running like shit. And then the very next day it was running so good. And there's so much weirdness, Wes, that I wanted to start the show off with this and just give people a PSA. And for all you Quest users that have been around for a while, you're going to tell me, Roots, I fucking know. This is like old news. This is old hat. But I was having issues with something, and I kept having now I'm not sure it's 100% this, but part of it and the performance issues, where I was getting dropped and it just was running like shit, and I didn't understand. It would run well for a while, and then it would start to degrade. And I started to look into it, and apparently there's something called NVIDIA overlay for us G4 or NVIDIA people, and the NVIDIA overlay conflicts with the Oculus Link sometimes, or that's for some reason, and it also conflicts with high FPS games, which is me in VR. And so I found that overlay and I fucking slammed that shit off quick. And it seemed to make performance run that much better. So much so that Wes, I had switched from Link to virtual desktop back and forth, and now I'm thinking virtual desktop is definitely the top way I want to play again. I just can't do the text to talk chat. It's a nightmare. You get one person that's chatty in there, like Coda that joined my stream this last week, really talkative, and that's great. But if I'm talking and then I hear somebody talking text to chat, I got to stop and listen, and then I got to try to talk again, and I keep getting interrupted. And I don't like being interrupted, Wes. And so I got to figure a way to get that freaking chat in there in a proper way, virtual desktop style. Um,
I'm sure there's a way. I'm no wizard at this. I'm not a streamer, not yet anyway. I'm sure I'll do it one day. Who knows? Maybe one day this week.
yeah.
But I have no idea what to tell you, friend. I'm sure that our ever-growing community probably could give you a little better advice with it than I could be able to.
Yeah, what I'm hoping, this is what I'm hoping, and I'm throwing down the gauntlet to that lazy ass developer, Guy, that's not doing anything, that keeps just amazing me.
Yeah.
Put in you just put a performance meter in there, put in a chat overlay of sorts. That's the one thing that is for streamers that I hear from everybody. Now, granted, if you're on the Quest standalone, you're going to be screwed anyway. I mean, you add a whole different level of hurdles to leap over. But for us virtual desktop people, we want I'd love to have some form of chat. I would love to see
Or
some of.
just a larger streaming service integration. Like you click the YouTube button, you click the Twitch button, all of a sudden, you enter in your stream key and you're good to go.
Yes, exactly, something like that would be amazing. But just being able to use it, to utilize it in a fashion to where I can stream, I think it would be easy to pin. Just let me use Oculus Dash. Somehow let me fucking use that thing. It's already set up. But that's the one thing that I think if you could solve that, then I will find something else to bitch about. I think, Wes, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure you will, Roots, but that's why we love you.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, virtual desktop back on top of the heap. A lot of people are saying even that the standalone version of Audica is the superior version of Audica. Have you tried Audica standalone since the last update?
I have. It looks phenomenal. Doesn't look as phenomenal as Link 1.5, but it looks amazing and it runs amazing. I think a game like that needs to be run at 90 hertz, and I think that's what's blowing everybody away. It's like it's a rhythm game based on movement and based on 90 frames. People forget it wasn't a Quest game. Now I am assuming they were able to make it work, but it just feels better at 90 frames per second, right? So
Yeah, awesome. Well, again, I wouldn't know. Not my thing. I haven't put my Quest on, but maybe once or twice this week, and
Oh,
that was it was standalone mode both times. I've been G2ing it up on the PC.
I don't blame you. You've been getting lucky in Kentucky, it looks like, man, with the G2.
Uh,
Yeah.
Dude, always. I took the advice of our wonderful community. They all told me, and Roots, I mean all of them. They all told me that the most likely the reason I'm having so many issues with the G2 is the fact that Steam VR has a bug and it oversamples the super sampling like way above what it should be. So if you put it at 100%, it's actually like 140, 150%.
Ooh.
Uh, they all told me to turn it down, and I did. And it hasn't run perfectly, but it has run much better. I'd say that we're back to Oculus CV1 levels of jank now. It's a manageable amount of jank. It's not game breaking jank like it was before.
Well, that's always good to hear, right? Got to make sure that it's non-jank. Um, well, it's good. I'm glad that you listen to the community, and it's funny because I could tell you were reaching that point. Somebody specifically joined the Discord to tell you, and you were like, "Yeah, everyone keeps telling me that." Like I've heard it. I heard it a couple times today. But what an amazing, not only amazing ability to have that community to bounce stuff off of, right? But it's so cool that people are so quick to respond and try to help each other in the Discord.
Yeah, man, it's pretty awesome. I probably would have thrown the thing through the window by now if it weren't for the community helping me out with it. I also found a solution to my Boneworks problem, and it was the thing I said I didn't want to do. I said I didn't want to get into changing the controller binding, but it's super easy. You click the Steam VR menu button. The menu pops up. Controller settings is right there on the first page. You click it. There's a list of community controller bindings. You pick one, and you're good. And there's actually an official binding from Stress Level Zero. So like, I don't know why they don't just update their game with it, but you click on it, and Boneworks works great now. It's beautiful in the new headset.
It makes you wonder, right? You know, it makes
Absolutely.
that's almost like they have a relationship with Valve.
Well, I
I
mean,
don't
this is kind of a Valve thing, right? I mean, it's not fully, but it's made in cooperation with Valve. I mean, Valve
true.
made the lenses, the audio. They had a lot to do with the design of the thing. So I don't
Sounds like
know, man. I
sounds
don't
like the
know.
Vive. Valve likes to design headsets for
Right.
other people, right? Um, it's funny, man. That's what's so funny. And I still hear people talking, and I'll hear this comparison, Wes, in like a Reddit or whatever, and they're comparing Valve versus HTC, and the person's getting all upset, like, fuck it, Valve, HTC Vive is better. I'm like, dude, Valve made Vive. Like at some point, chill. It's okay. So,
Right. Right. Yeah. You could always tell the Valve fans from the regular the regulars. Everybody else has jumped ship on Vive except for those Valve guys. They still defend it.
yeah. No, I don't defend it. I think it needs to go die somewhere. But that's just
Yeah.
my
Well, I
my
mean, the original Vibe by all reports was a it was the best of its time.
hmm.
But at the end of the day, those guys pissed me off by profiteering for years, and
Yeah.
you get what you deserve.
Remember when I said it was hot garbage once? That was fun.
I do remember that. Those good times,
Good
good times.
times, yeah.
Anyway, more VR news than you can shake a stick at, Roots. A thumbstick. And, we need to get into it. I don't want to have to cut out free stuff and killer deals
Ooh.
again this week because there's a lot of killer deals this week. So let's kick it off, as we always do, by saying hello to the chat. Delirium Drew, VR Spry Guy. Alakazam says, I went for a Diet Coke, and I will just say this that artificial sweetener will rot your brain, brother. No
Mm,
artificial sweeteners here.
yeah.
Phil Yarn in the house. Ray Pope, Void Citizen, Radio Run, Delirium Drew, Frank. Well, it's just one Frank. For
Mm.
Frank in the house. And Skiva, what's up, friend? Les Marswick and a cast of thousands. Roots, Slay Blaze. What's up, friend?
Hundreds of thousands. I can't believe it. So many out there.
That would be great. I was on the doing my show prep last night, as I always do, and I was on the VR Focus website. We get a lot of our news. A lot of what I say is actually word for word from VR Focus, and they're having their end of the year awards like we're about to do with the 2020 show, and they're having open voting. And the cool thing about VR Focus is they'll give you a list to choose from, but they always give you that other at the end, and you can put in whatever you want and vote. And one of the categories, Roots, VR Influencer of the Year.
Ooh.
And they had a lot of the usual, a lot of the usual suspects. A couple of legit, great channels on there. PSVR Without Parole on there. VR Oasis was on there. I don't think I saw. Well, we'll just say this: there was a lot that weren't on there, and that's why having that other spot there is good. I voted, and I didn't vote for anybody on that list.
Oh, did you? I can only imagine. That's a good idea. Other. I like that. I like that.
Wonder who I voted for.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I think Wes. I think Wes, the Wes end of the Virtual Strangers is the influence of the year for me. You influenced my news.
So. Yeah, it was funny, man. Like I was signing up yesterday for the Ven VR Adventure beta, and for those of you who don't know, Ven VR Adventure made a big announcement this week, as I predicted last week on this show, that they were going to announce their release date, and indeed they did just that. They also announced a beta, which is open for signups right now. If you go to their Discord, you can sign up for it. But one of the questions on the sign up form was, where did you hear about Ven VR Adventure? And I said, my answer to that was, I am the host of the Virtual Strangers podcast, and I heard about it from me.
I kind of answered the same thing, except for I said I'm the co-host of Virtual Strangers, and we talked about it on the show. So I mean, it's
but see, because honestly, I don't remember. It's been so long now, I don't remember. And I said as much. Like seriously though, I don't remember. Probably Upload VR, but I don't
know. Yeah, so I think hopefully we'll get into this. This looks really good, right? Looks like something that I've wanted ever since Lucky's Tale. I've wanted to have a good platformer on PCVR outside of like Edge of Nowhere, which is an amazing platformer, but different. But this one looks better than Lucky's Tale. It looks like it's just got so much more going on to it. And it's cross-buy, bro. So, like, I know I'm excited about being able to have 2 copies of it, one on my Quest as well.
Absolutely. So, Monologic Games announced that this title will be coming to Oculus Rift, or as we like to call it, the Oculus Link platform, on December the 17th. The Quest version to be released in the first half of next year, but cross-buy enabled. So you can go ahead and pick it up for Link, and rest assured you'll get your Quest copy when the time comes. This, of course, being brought to us by Monologic Games. And what you're saying there, Roots, is absolutely true. This game looks phenomenal. I've been so excited about this game for a long time because these guys get it. They know how to use the social media channels effectively. And basically, a week hasn't gone by where we haven't gotten some new peek at the game. They're always uploading screenshots, clips of the new levels as they develop them, and the game looks like it's going to be just phenomenal.
Yeah, it looks sharp as hell. I want to throw out a shout out to iCrimax Og fan that says, "Hi, I'm new." Well, new, we're glad you made it here. It's a good family to come be a part of. Yeah, we're gonna nuzzle you in. We're gonna hang out with you.
Yeah, welcome. Thanks for showing up. We always love getting newbies into the community. Be sure, sir, to sign up for our Discord. There's an invitation in the description. That's where we all live. We all meet here and kind of have a party twice a week, but where we live at is on the Discord, and we're all in there 24/7 talking VR.
And don't let Wes warn you that Discord is very big. It's not cramped. We're not all squeezed in there. It's nice and spacious. We got plenty of room.
Absolutely. Plenty of spacious room in there. Lots of help. I don't know how new you are to VR, but everybody, as I was just mentioning a moment ago, they helped me solve most of my GUOs. I helped Jim Hall yesterday, Roots. Did he tell you?
No, I haven't talked to Jim Hall for a couple of days. He just kind of disappeared. I don't know what's going on
Well,
with him.
somebody who was looking for a PlayStation 5 for his
Ooh,
nephew, and someone now has a PlayStation
nice,
5
dude. That's
for his
awesome,
nephew.
bro. That's very cool, man.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a pretty good deal, actually. I mean, it was a little overpriced. Got it from Kohl's, but they give you like close to $200 back in store credit.
Oh
So
god.
for paying like a $30 premium on a bundle, you get all this store credit back. So it was actually a pretty good deal.
Yeah, you can't beat that, right? And the most important part is you have a PlayStation 5 before Christmas.
Absolutely. So as long as they didn't oversell, which they might have done, because I mean, it wasn't long after it went up that I mean, it crashed. The website was down and sold out. Soon appeared thereafter.
Let me ask you this. What happened to companies' abilities to sell the stock they actually have in stock and not stuff they don't have in stock? I've never seen anything like this where people get emails back that say, "Oh, sorry, I know you spent 12 hours trying to get X item, but and you thought for a day, you got one day you thought you had it. We're going to Charlie Brown your ass. We're going to pull that football out from underneath you. You're going to fall down, hit your head, wake up stumbling, not knowing what's going on." I feel like it's a weird
Yeah,
time.
yeah. I don't think that it's really so much an issue with the companies intentionally overselling. I think that the demand is so high this year with everybody getting free money from the government and staying home that that the the internet, the technology isn't fast enough to shut it off in time. So like they have X amount of stock to sell, they put it up, it's gone in 2 minutes, but before they can get it down, like there's already an extra friggin' 200 orders. You know what I mean? So I think that has something to do with it at
Oh,
least.
maybe. I don't know, man. They need to get their shit together. Roots wants his stuff. He wants it now. So,
Well, I want Ven VR Adventure right now, Roots. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the game, Ven VR Adventure is a single player VR platform game. You happen to meet Ven on his unknown planet, invaded by the evil Bruce Nelson, who
mm.
wants to destroy the magical world. And let me tell you, Roots, I have met Bruce Nelson, and he's not one to be trifled with.
I tell you, where do you come? What is that? Somebody's doesn't like that. Must be a developer's name, man. Bruce Nelson, because when I heard Bruce Nelson, it just had a nefarious sound to it. I don't know why. So that's definitely a good enemy.
Well, I'll say this, Roots. I come from the hills. I grew up in the hills of eastern Kentucky, and that's where the Bruce Nelson I know is from. And he's the type of guy. All right, here's a little tidbit about Bruce Nelson. He has hardwired an electric cooler into his truck in between
Ooh.
the seats in the front. There's a electric cooler there, and he never goes anywhere without cold beer,
Oh.
so he can just drink and drive all the way to where he's going.
It doesn't sound very safe, bro. For me or my
Hey,
family.
he hasn't wrecked too many of his cars. So,
Well, it is rural Kentucky, right? As long as I mean, as long as you're out in the sticks far enough, you can drink away as your heart's content. Because I'm most likely not going to come through there.
well, let me tell you, where Bruce Nelson lives, it is the sticks. Like his neighbors, he's got neighbors on both sides of his place, and all across the road, there's like three or four more places. All of them Nelsons.
Oh
So
wow!
that's how far. That's how far up in the sticks Bruce Nelson lives.
So there's no Karens telling him to put his mask on. He's good. Because you have your own community. Your whole family lives in that whole community, so you are sticking with your family, and you're good to go, right?
That's the way it is back there. I mean, it was the same place. Way it's the same way the place where I grew up. There was like two or three families in the whole community, and like I mean, there was plenty of houses and stuff, but it's all family owned land, like for like miles and miles, big
Mm.
pieces of property, kind of divvied up amongst the 10,000 grandchildren that they all had back then.
Well, it sounds like it's gonna be like if there's ever a like a Walking Dead apocalypse, that would be like the Nelson farm. Everybody's gonna go congregate there, right?
Right.
It's
Oh, well, I don't know how long they'd last in the presence of the evil Bruce Nelson, but apparently Vin is coming to save us from him, and I gotta issue a stern warning to Vin to watch out. You can't trust that guy.
This is, I mean, I don't blame you. This is pretty cool. Did you see it said choose island and there was like a shitload? I don't know, maybe like 20 different things. It looked like there was a lot of levels to this, which is pretty cool. That's one. The biggest thing that I worry about a game like this is that it's going to not be ambitious enough. I want a lot of levels and a lot of variation. And so far, from what I'm seeing, I mean, that has both in spades. There's a lot of shit going on here and looks really good. I can't wait to. I know I'm gonna get into the beta. I have to, bro, just because you gave it to me so quick. Like it was out for like
Yeah.
5 seconds, and I was already putting my name in there. So,
Yeah, I think I was the second one to sign up. You were definitely within the first 10 people to sign up for it. I mean, we were on it quick when
yeah,
it posted.
yeah. So we're gonna play it, and we're gonna tell you that. I think it said we can say how good it is, or no, no. It was like say you can't
Well,
be
I
specific.
I tried to clarify that with the developer because we are on the press list for the game as well.
Okay.
And he said that he would get back to me with details soon. So
Okay. Good.
not 100% on that one quite yet, whether or not we're going to be able to talk about it before release or at least during the beta. I'm not for sure yet.
Okay. Well, we'll get
But it does.
clarification.
But what you're saying is absolutely true. Monologic Games has a YouTube channel. You guys should go check it out. Tons of different footage there of all the different levels. There's going to be a ton of content here, Roots, and it looks like a legit AAA experience. And I know AAA can mean different things to different people, but I'm using it as uh, uh, a quality statement here. This looks like a AAA quality game.
Yeah, I think AAA to me has everything. It's got the graphics. It's got the game loop. It's got the gameplay feels good. And so far, from what I can see, this has it. I don't know about the game loop. You won't know till you play, but looks good. Looks really good.
Yeah, it looks amazing, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It looks like really good
Uh,
3D, right? So
I'm sorry, you broke up for a minute there. What'd you say?
the 3D looks really good. And I'm sure it's going to look better in the headset, but I'm kind of jealous for this one, Wes, because when you're G2ing this sucker up, bro, because why would you not? This is a platformer. It,
Well, because it's going to be native to Oculus. That's why
oh,
not.
well, then, yeah, Revive sucks. Well, then you'll be Quest 2ing it then, bro. See, that's your backup. The sharpness
Yeah, and I
backup.
will say this: the Quest 2 picture is nothing to sneeze at. The G2 is better, but it's not like leagues ahead. It's definitely another level as far as clarity goes. But the Quest 2 is a worthy competitor. It's not like it's going to look significantly worse checking it out in the Quest.
I'll tell you what, Wes, after the latest update for Link and after I took care of my NVIDIA issues, I cranked the Link up to 1.5 and on Population 1 and a few other games, and it was so good, dude. It looked so clear and crisp, and I would imagine with Ven you're going to be able to do the same thing, just crank the shit out of it, and it's just going to look so good. I think that's the problem. I don't think people, even people that have used the Quest 2, I don't think they've really, most people haven't even super sampled it, so they have not seen what that screen can do. Roots' eyes have seen it, Wes. I can't unsee it, dude. It's too good. So
Yeah, I understand. Believe me. Mepper says, I haven't had any problems with Revive so far. Yeah, that's what I hear from most people. But I have noticed that when a game is new, sometimes it won't work right away. Like they have to patch Revive for it sometimes. And I don't see myself waiting until day 2 to play this. I don't see myself waiting until day 1 to play it. I'm going to play this game before it releases. So I'm not so sure how well Revive integration is going to go with it.
yeah, that's true. Especially if you're playing it on beta, trying to revive that shit. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Right. Alakazam says he has me beaten because he is from West Virginia. Well, let me tell
Ooh.
you, sir, the area of Kentucky that I'm from is on the border with West Virginia. My dad and his family is from West Virginia, and I actually lived in West Virginia for a few years when I was younger before we moved to Kentucky. So I know all about it. I actually my family is from Williamson, West Virginia. I don't know where you're at, Alakazam, but beat that. I'm
Boom.
from Williamson.
Well, I'll tell you
So
what. Let's put it this way: Wes's family is the only one that has all their teeth. Well, maybe not, but
I wouldn't say I wouldn't go that far, Roots.
okay, all right. Well, I've never been, so but sounds like fun.
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends on your definition of fun, I guess.
Yeah, I'd rather. Well, I'll tell you what. With the way the world is melting down, looking in rural areas looks pretty fun to me to get away from it all.
I tell you what, man, it's pretty awesome in Google Earth VR.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Have to
You
check
can
it out.
fly over and check out all the local landmarks like Walmart
Mm.
and the Napa Auto Parts store.
Let me ask you this: isn't that where the biggest ball of twine is? Or no, that's somewhere else in the United States. I've almost stopped for that before, Wes. I don't know where it's
So
at.
actually, what the area that I'm not from is known for is the Hatfield and McCoy feud. I don't know if you're familiar with that old feud back in the early 1900s
Mm.
or late 1800s, where the two families infamously fought over a pig and some other stuff, and it got very bloody and made national news. That's kind of what the area is known for. There's lots of little tourist spots where this thing happened and that thing happened, and there's a cabin here, and that's kind of the area's claim to fame.
That sounds crazy, right? But if you think about it, man, like you don't fuck with somebody's pig, bro. You start a whole feud for hundreds of years. Very bloody. So,
Yeah, Techno Glitch 666 says 100 years. Yeah, it's about that long ago. But anyway, Roots, Ven VR Adventure, not the only release date we got this week, not by a long shot. We got a metric shit ton of release dates this week. And we also finally got a release date for Myst. This was one of your top 5 most anticipated Quest games that we knew, that we have known of. We did a Monday show on it, and this was on your list, and I got to say, I agree with it. Cyan Worlds, the original developers of this iconic puzzle adventure game, announced at Facebook Connect this past September that a remake of the game is coming to Oculus Quest and PCVR platforms. This Myst reimagining is said to include all of the classic game, but with modern sound, modern art, and modern interactions. We have learned this past week, Roots, that Myst will launch for Oculus Quest on December 10th, but will also be available on PC VR via Steam at a later date. So it's finally happening, Roots. We didn't have very long to wait at all, and we are, as promised, getting Myst, which is actually, it's pretty cool that we're getting it so quickly because we know that Scion's been promising us Firmament for years now,
mm-hmm.
and the release date to that game is nowhere in sight. So at least we're getting Myst in a timely fashion.
It's funny you say it's nowhere in sight. I would have said Myst was nowhere in sight. How does this fucking happen, man? This is so different than mainstream flat gaming, right? Where you hear about a game and they're like, "Hey, we're making this game 5 years from now. It'll come out. Just sit on your hands and wait." In VR, it's like, "Oh, not only are we making Myst, it's about to come out, bro." Like you didn't know that? When I heard December 10th, my jaw dropped. I was like, "Oh shit, dude, it is." Not only, I mean, everything is coming so quick, and this is such an anticipated high AAA title, and this has got like anticipation from people that have no interest in VR. Like there's so many gamers out there that this is their love. This was like one of the first games that they played like this. And then they're finding out that it's being brought into virtual reality and they can play it on their standalone $300 headset that they didn't know was out there. I just think it's brilliant. You know, how many amazing games that are going to tug at people's nostalgia are going to draw people into VR. This is one of them, bro. I guarantee it. This is going to be bigger than people think.
Yeah, this is going to be a headset seller for sure because this game has a passionate fan base. I mean, people, uh, they release a new version of this game like it seems every 2 or 3 years, and it's always a hit. I mean, they had a, I think they even had like like an anniversary edition go up on Kickstarter within the last few years, and I mean, they smashed their goal like super quickly. So. Yeah, dude, I agree 100%. Not only is it going to be an amazing game, but it's definitely going to sell headsets. For those of us from that generation who haven't picked one up yet, I mean, $300, dude, you can't beat that. And they've sweetened the pot a little bit, as we're going to talk about later. Free games coming with the Quest these days.
Yeah, pissing some people off.
Yeah, yeah, I got to say, I understand the frustration, but we'll get to that a little bit later. Roots, for fans of this genre who maybe don't want to wait on Myst, maybe December 10th's a little too long. Well, they don't have to wait quite so long for Ryte, the Eye of Atlantis. This is a game which has taken inspiration from Myst, and it
Mm,
blends both myth and archaeological history from ancient Greece and Egyptian civilizations, taking you to the city of Atlantis. Here, you play an Atlantean who has recently broken out of prison, tasked with joining forces with clerics to save civilization from catastrophe. You'll be able to wield supernatural powers like telekinesis to manipulate the environment, decipher riddles, and explore this mythical universe. So here we are, Roots. This game very blatantly admits that they're taking a lot of inspiration from those point and click adventure games, those point and click puzzlers like Myst, and
mm.
it specifically names Myst as a big inspiration here. This game coming 2 days before Myst does on December 8th.
Yeah, it's not too long to get it early. I'll tell you what are the odds? This game, I guarantee when Ryte, the Eye of Atlantis, like decided they're gonna make a game and they're going to tell everybody, hey, this is like Myst, because that's a good comparison. If it's something that you can do, you want people to say, hey, look, this is like Myst, dude. If you want Myst in VR, this is the closest shit you're gonna get. And they've been developing this game for a while, right? Probably for a year, maybe 2 years. And who would have thought Cyan VR, or Cyan in general, I guess it's not Cyan VR, but Cyan was going to put Myst into VR. And not only were they going to put it into VR, they were going to put the same within the next couple days of Ryte, the Eye of Atlantis. I can't imagine that's 100% good for these developers, because I mean, you're comparing it to another game that is now coming out at the same time, and that to me is like, fuck, dude. Like, people are probably thinking this is not. So how does this happen? You know what I mean?
Right, right. Do you think the timing is the timing of the release is a coincidence that it's coming out 2 days before Myst?
Well, I'll tell you what. It's probably they were rushing to get it out first, and Miss Cyan may even be, maybe they pushed their date up a little bit, and then who knows what's going on behind the scenes, right? It's like I'm getting out there first. It does look good. I don't want to, I mean that. I don't think that's the thing. Is like Myst is going to be Myst, and this is going to be Ryte, the Eye of Atlantis. And it looks pretty cool. So,
Dude, I think it looks pretty awesome. What time is it?
quote time.
It is quote time, and we're going to kick off a pretty epic quote time this week. We got lots of quotes, but kicking it off early and strong here. Quote: Our team spent countless hours researching the work of scientists and ancient Greek philosophers
Hmm.
in order to craft an exciting yet believable version of Atlantis, said Clovis Rosalind, Clovis Rosalind, the president of Orichalcum Pictures, in a statement. We can't wait for fans of adventure games and historical fiction to embark on their own Iliads and Odysseys soon. So here they are, Roots, invoking Homer in an attempt to sell their game. It must be pretty good.
Yeah, dude, I like historic fiction. Because there is some accuracy. I mean, that people believe Atlantis existed. I can't say it did or didn't, but I think that like the whole aspect of that, and maybe there's something in this game that I can learn about Atlantis. I think that's kind of cool. You know, it's a very mysterious thing that I don't know too much about.
Yeah, I mean, there's certainly a space in the market, right? I mean, a lot of people are into Atlantis, and they have a VR game set there. I mean, it kind of seems like a no-brainer. I'm surprised it's taken somebody this long to figure this out.
Yeah, now that we're going down this road, I want my flat Earth game, Wes. And I don't know how they would incorporate that into a game, but I think that would
You
be
could do
interesting
like
as well.
a flat mode in Google Earth.
Yeah, that's Google Earth.
Yeah, or like on the PC version, right?
Yeah, that's what
That kind of is flat Earth.
yeah.
Oh man, no, but seriously though, in Atlantis game, no brainer. Where's the ancient Egyptian game? We
Yeah.
should have that too, right?
I'll tell you what, that is one of the things that I love history, and being able to feel like you can go into history, even if it's in a game, like a puzzle game environment, I'm down. So I do. I want to check it out. I want to see what Atlantis looks like, or at least their vision of Atlantis. And so I'm kind of excited to see what this is going to look like.
Yeah, and from the promo material, it looks like it's going to be pretty solid.
Yeah.
Right, the Eye of Atlantis coming to Steam VR and the Oculus Store on the 8th of December 2020, supporting Valve Index,
Ooh.
HTC Vive, and Oculus Link.
Mepper says they recently found bars of the special metal that was supposedly only made in Atlantis in a shipwreck. So, you know what's funny about it is like there's so much in this world that's happened that for anybody to say absolutely that didn't exist, I just don't know that we could know that at this point. You know, like maybe I'm naive, but
They could come out tomorrow and say that they found Atlantis, and people would just nobody would even talk about it hardly. You know what I mean? That's just the way 2020 is. They're talking about extraterrestrial aircraft and alien civilizations, and everybody's just like, yeah,
yeah,
whatever, man.
yeah, yeah. I think we're over it.
Yeah, yeah. Warhammer 40,000 Battle Sister, the first VR game in the storied universe, is coming exclusively to the Quest platform on December 8th as well. Developers Pixel Toys say that the narrative driven VR shooter will offer both single and multiplayer modes and push players through an epic story where Ophelia searches for her lost twin sister and fights for the future of humanity itself. Expect all the trimmings, including iconic war gear such as bolters, plasma pistols, flamers, lost rifles, power swords, chain swords, and axe of faith. Roots, I want a chainsword in VR. That thing just sounds awesome.
Yeah, acts of faith. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds very badass. See, I don't know anything about Warhammer, but it looks pretty good, man. It looks pretty triple A, and I hope it's not like an experience. It doesn't look like an experience. Now, what's weird to
Oh,
me is it looks medieval, and they got a sword in one hand and a machine gun in the other. I feel like time is melded together.
yeah, it's one of those games. I mean, they have a chainsaw sword, Roots. I mean, come on, bro.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So yeah, so it looks amazing. I can't believe it's coming out so quickly. And I mean, think about it. You know, when I got into VR in 2018, I was like, "Where's the AAA games? Where's the good games?" And you'd have a couple peppered here or there, but for the most part, it was indie janky bullshit stuff that I won't even like. If it dropped today and they were like, "Hey, will you play my game?" I'd be like, I don't know if I want to talk about that. It's a different time for us, right? We couldn't be
Yeah,
as selective. I
too
don't know.
too many games to play them all, man. I mean, there's literally too many games to play them all. I've said it many times. I could stop buying games today, and I could play VR every day for a year, and I still wouldn't be caught up with my backlog.
Yeah, that's crazy because I keep getting sucked into certain games. So, but yeah, it looks good. I can't wait to try it, and hopefully it'll be like a game that just blows everybody away. You know?
Yeah, it's been delayed once for polish. We were actually supposed to have it a lot sooner, but apparently we didn't have to wait too long because I mean it was what like a month late or something like that. Not too shabby. But this is supposedly a highly polished arcade style shooter and Roots. I'm pretty sure you can co-op through this thing, so it's
Ooh,
pretty awesome.
hell yeah, dude! I see a future money show.
Absolutely. That's not all, Roots. Pistol Whip 2089 is set to be the game's biggest content update to date. Not merely new scenes, but an actual action campaign set across 5 story driven chapters. Quote, in 2089, a plague of killer androids has overrun an off world colony, leaving only one hero with the metal needed to shut it all down. Roots, that hero is you.
Oh, hey, I like to be in the hero. It looks pretty cool, right? I like the fact that there's machine guns. It looks like, right?
Yeah, this looks, and I've said it before. This looks a lot closer to my vision of the perfect rhythm shooter. Like I think rhythm shooter as a genre has a lot of potential, but I want something that's a little more story driven. I would like some sort of defense and some sort of boss fights. Now I don't know if we're going to get all of that here, but certainly this looks a lot closer to my vision than the original Pistol Whip. The update promises new weapons, new mechanics, and of course, new robotic enemies to take down. There's also going to be epic new music tracks from synthwave artists, including Magic Sword, Processor, and more. Pistol Whip 2089 will launch for Oculus Quest and Rift platforms on Tuesday, the 1st of December 2020. So, less than a week, well, a little more than a week away, we'll have our hands on this one.
So that's, I mean, obviously it's coming to other platforms, right? I'm assuming.
Yeah, yeah, no word on when yet. The release was formally announced during the Oculus Quest 2 event.
Mm.
Uh, so I mean, it may release concurrently on other platforms, but this news is coming from Oculus directly, and that's all that they're reporting at this
Remember,
time.
remember when I didn't have a Quest 2? When I didn't have a Quest 1 was the only one out, and like literally out of my mouth, the words came that there was no reason to have a Quest. There was like no advantage. There was no exclusives, nothing. Now, like you go fast forward to now, if I didn't have my Quest 2, I couldn't talk about Star Wars Galaxy tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like I there's just certain things I couldn't do. I couldn't play it. You know what I mean? 2089 seems like it's going to be Quest first for a little bit, or Rift platform. I feel like wouldn't, maybe I'm wrong and you've got both best of both worlds, but do you think you would be a little frustrated if you weren't in that ecosystem of the Rift platform? Because people shit all over it, but there's clearly incentives to be in here. It's warm, it's safe. I feel like nuzzled, and I got all these games to play, like galaxies, like I don't know.
Yeah, lots of exclusive content in the Oculus ecosystem. And that's what you like to see. That's what I like to see. That's why I'm a Sony fan. It's because of their exclusive content. It's kind of the thing that really, um, it's kind of the thing that really draws me into a platform is exclusive content. Not saying that this is going to be exclusive, of course, but there is, as Roots was saying, a lot of exclusive content on the Oculus platform, especially when you look outside the realm of gaming and look into the other things you can do in VR.
Yeah.
So yeah, I absolutely agree. I'm 100% glad. You know, I've questioned whether or not I'm going to keep or return the G2, but there never has been any question whether or not I'm keeping my Quest. I'm absolutely keeping it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a good system, definitely doing things right. People can like it or not like it, but they're giving people incentive to be a part of um, their ecosystem, even though you don't want to be because of Facebook, or most people don't anyway.
Absolutely.
So,
But this looks great. You know, Roots. I think we both can say honestly that the last probably three, four, maybe even five Pistol Whip updates weren't enough to have either of us strap the headset on and actually jump back in and try it out. Just because I don't want my legs to hurt. You know what I mean? I think this one might do it for me. You gonna check this one out?
I'll have to. I think I got to pick it up and do that. Absolutely. But one of the things, the reason why I didn't, and I said it before, that I did stopped playing Pistol Whip for the most part, is because it felt like it was the same shit with a new skin slapped over it. The level was the same as far as where, the platforms, you had different things, different enemies in different places, but it seemed like a rehash. And so this is completely 100% different. I don't see how I don't go into this. And we love campaigns. I want something to pull me through. It's the same reason I haven't played Stride really. I tried it once, but I need something to give me a reason to go through it. The people don't realize, or at least the VR community of devs, they think they're going to put a game out there with no loop to pull you through, and you're just going to jump in and want to play it over and over again, and it doesn't work like that mostly. So.
I was going to read Bidey says, "Oh damn, you're thinking about returning the G2. That's interesting." Don't read too much into that, Bidey. I naturally weigh my options anytime I buy anything, and obviously, if I already have a PCVR headset, having a second one that costs $600, I'm going to have to weigh my options here, right? Because I can always, get that $600 back, and then in a few months when the Samsung headset drops or whatever surprise headset drops, I'll be able to pick it up. So it's always a debate with me whether or not I should keep my money or keep my headset.
Derail, I mean, Derail. Jarillo says that he never thought he'd see people defending terrible things like exclusivity. And it's not that we're defending it, and it's not that it's, I mean, it's good and bad. For me, it's good, Jarillo. I've got the headset. I'm in that loop. For you, it's not good because you don't have that headset and you're not in the loop. So if I didn't have the Quest, I'd feel a little salty, absolutely, because there's actual reasons. My point is for the Quest, for Oculus as a company or Facebook, and for VR, it's a good thing. The exclusivity.
Absolutely. And we've done a whole episode on this before, but just to recap, we think exclusivity is a good thing for VR. It creates competition, and many of the best games in VR have come as a result of this competition. And if it weren't for platform exclusives, we may not have titles like Stormland and Asgard's Wrath and Astrobot Rescue Mission and Blood and Truth, and I could go on and on. Farpoint. A lot of the best games, most of the best games in VR platform exclusive, and I think that if there were no such thing as platform exclusivity, that many of these games would not be funded. There's why would any of these platform owners shell out these multiple millions of dollars to make a game if it's not going to draw people specifically into their ecosystem?
And let's be honest, it's not exclusive because you can play it through Revive. I guess the Quest ones you can, the Quest games, but as far as the PC goes, and what console you can't, I can't go play Resident Evil 7, for instance, the PlayStation version on the Xbox or whatever. Consoles are exclusive. You can't just go from one Halo onto PlayStation. It just doesn't work. So,
yeah, I've been wondering lately when they're going to emulate the PS4 and PSVR accurately. They can do it now. We've got this camera adapter for the PlayStation 5, which allows you to plug the PlayStation camera, into a USB port, which means you can plug it into your computer. And if some technical wizard out there can hack into the system code, I don't see any reason why we couldn't have a convincing, very well running PS4 emulator that runs PSVR if you have the proper hardware.
Let's do it. Oh, we're gonna wait for someone to invent it. Okay. Yeah, sounds good.
Anyway, Roots, the release dates keep flowing. Frostpoint VR, after conducting a beta in September, InXile Entertainment is almost ready to launch. It is a team-based 10 versus 10 shooter set in Antarctica. And at launch, there will be 4 maps and a variety of gameplay modes, with the studio including attack and defend as well as team deathmatch. And what makes Frostpoint VR Proving Grounds a little different is the fact that it's got a sci fi twist with terrifying biomechanical creatures dubbed the Function also inhabiting the maps. So as you hunt down your human opponents, you got to keep your eyes out for these things hunting both teams down. So Roots, I've always dug the concept of this. I think it's a very good looking game, and I'm worried. I'm worried about the timing of this because people are still hot and heavy into Population One.
It's funny. You took the words out of my mouth. I was just going to say I'm worried about it. And not only because of this, but people are already talking about Medal of Honor. In Population One, I had a guy telling me last night, well, what about when Medal of Honor drops? And I'm like, well, dude, they're two different types of games. Pop One is a battle royale. The other one is not. But this is similar to Medal of Honor as far as gameplay. Now it's got that loop as far as the NPCs and it's sci-fi. But let me tell you why I'm the most worried about it, and it's because of the words that have came out of Radio Runt's mouth for the most part, and other people like him. Like they've already solidified a free copy, just by playing the beta. But they're like it's okay, and they've got the free copy, and at least from what they're saying, some of these people, it doesn't sound like even with the free copy, this is their go-to game. You know what I mean? So you got the game for free, and those people may or may not even be in there. So I feel like there's so many things going against this game from day one that it worries me. And now I don't know what's the cost on it. Did they say have they released a price on it yet?
$25.
Okay, so it's dead on arrival in my opinion. It's going to be space junkies all over there. You had Ubisoft put out a game at $25 and it couldn't make it. Now you got this
No,
game coming out.
no. Ubisoft put a game out at $40.
Oh Jesus. Okay, well, that's it. That is way more. But either way, $25 is still, I believe, too much for it. But we'll see. I mean, hopefully,
It's less than Population One launch for. And to be quite honest, it looks a lot more appealing to me. I know Population One turned out to be this highly addictive gameplay loop, but as far as looks and as far as the game itself, by description goes, this seems a lot more appealing to me. This seems a lot more like the type of game that I would enjoy.
Okay, have you tried the beta? Because
I
I tried the beta and I didn't like the gameplay. But I mean, it's what everybody's up to, and that's the thing is like, battle royales are very popular. Not to me, not to you, but especially to the youth. I agree. I think in description and just the sci-fi and the fact that there's NPCs and all of it, it's just the way it felt. For me, I didn't like it. Now maybe Radio Runt's in the thing and he's saying he disagrees. But hopefully it does well. I don't want it to not do well, absolutely. But I think at that price, and then with all the competition, like you said, not only from Population One but Medal of Honor as well, I think it's gonna be interesting to see what happens to it. I predicted the price is gonna drop, but we'll see.
I'm sure the price will. At least we'll see some sales to get some players in the lobby. You got to have players in your lobby if you have a multiplayer game. But yeah, the price isn't the concern for me. $25 isn't an arm and a leg. The timing is everything, though, and this is like the worst possible time to launch this type of game. If I were them, I would postpone my launch till spring because they're sandwiching it right in between two very popular shooter games, and there's not enough players to go around, even with the Quest 2 bringing in record numbers of players. This game is going to be an afterthought. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I hope I'm wrong. I do hope to check it out and review on it. Uh, for all that you're saying about your experience in it, Roots, it was the beta version. Hopefully, they've polished it up a little bit more, and it plays better than it did in beta.
Well, it wasn't even the gameplay played fine. It was the I'm not big on going. It just was the actual modes and stuff. I don't know. I like tradition. If I'm going to play a game like this, I want traditional modes of domination, that type of stuff. I'm just that type of person. But
See me, I don't. Traditional multiplayer shooters are nothing to me. I've never really gotten into that type of game. So it really that I could care less about that stuff. The fact that the world is alive and that there's NPCs going after both teams, that's very appealing to me.
Yeah. I just don't know how many multiplayer people that are geared towards a multiplayer will feel that way. But hopefully, like I said, hopefully it does well.
Yeah, I agree. Time will tell. We're not going to have to wait very long.
Yeah.
In Exile Entertainment will launch Frostpoint VR Proving Grounds for Oculus Rift, HTC Vive, and Valve Index headsets via the Oculus Store and Steam on the 1st of December 2020,
Ooh.
retailing for $24.99 US.
Yeah. So Radio Run, your goal, you have to tell us how it is after launch since you own it already, and all the other. I mean, we got to keep that. They gave away a lot of beta keys, so there's going to be some people out there. I mean, a lot of keys to the beta people.
Did you get one?
I did not. I did not play 10. You had to play 10 games, and this is how easy it was. 10 games in a certain amount of time, like the first 1,000 people several times over or whatever it was. And I never played 10 games congruently or in general. I think I played like 3. And after I played the last one, I just decided I don't want a free copy of this game. But that's just just me. So
All right. Well, I'll ask for 1 key then instead of 2, since
that sounds good to me because I won't be going into it. Honestly, I really don't see myself going into this game.
All right, fair enough. So yeah, 1 week, 6 big release dates announced. Roots. It's that time of the year. We're coming up against the deadline, right? The end of the year. 2020 is running out, and fast approaching is the 2020 show. And I just wanted to take a minute to say a few things about that. Um, you know, time is coming up on us quickly here for the 2020 show. So it's time to start preparing. And for those of you who don't know, who weren't around for the 2019 show, the 2020 show is our year in bash. It's our big party that we have to celebrate an awesome year in VR. We give away uh, a ton of keys. Was what we did last year. It's what we're going to do again this year. We're also going to be naming award winners, games of the year in a plethora of different categories. But as we do many things around here on Virtual Strangers, we put our own twist on it, and we have our own categories. We don't just do the cookie cutter categories that you see on all the other award shows. We have our very own, and we ask the community to help us come up with some of these categories. So I want to go ahead and put it out there right now that over the next 2 weeks, we're going to be taking category suggestions via our Discord. Within the next day or two, you'll see a channel pop up in there, and I will list all of the categories from last year's 2019 show. Some of them, most of them, will probably be in the 2020 show. Some of them will be dropped and replaced with other categories. So, what we would like from you all are some suggestions. What categories would you like to see us give our awards in? Give us the name of the category, what the category award is going to be for, and we will consider it. And then at the end of the 2 weeks, we will list the categories that we're going to give awards out in, and then you guys can start to nominate games for it. Um, so that's kind of how it works here. We involve the community throughout the entire process. So look for that this week. I'll post the entire 2019 show list of categories, and maybe you guys like the category, but you can think of a better name for the award. Feel free to suggest that as well. We want to make a show that is our best show of the year and something that you guys are going to find entertaining enough to sit through, because last year it was like what, 4 hours, the 2019 show.
Yeah, and just to let you know, we're going to figure out a way. There's going to be little breaks, and by breaks I mean like videos, right? We got to have a minute. I got to have a minute to get up and walk because we didn't do it live last year.
Well, honestly, Roots, I'm considering maybe not doing it live again this year because away. I mean, we had a lot of keys to give away, and a lot of the way we did that was by hiding codes in the video.
Oh, that's
And
true.
if we go live, I'm not going to be able to do that. So unless we can find a way around that, I'm not so sure we're going to be live. Now, well, of course, we will. If we do a pre-recorded version like we did last year, we will live premiere it. So we'll be live with you in the chat, start to finish, chatting it up with you guys. But Roots, I don't know if we could do it live because last year's 4 hour show would probably take us 6 hours to do live.
Well, the one way I could see it is if you like even just like the video I was just talking about. If you had that, if you took a break for a minute or two or whatever video is, you have it hidden in those videos, right? In those in
That's
between.
true. We could do pre-produced segments and do kind of a hybrid live slash pre-recorded, like do like half the show pre-recorded and just kind of throw to it here and
Yeah.
there.
I think that would be, well, we'll talk about it, but there's so many options. What do you guys want? Let us know what you want in the comments or the chat. We've got a little bit of time to solidify. I think it's going to be an amazing show. I know the last year's one was. We're already getting keys from people, donations. Developers are, Wes has been reaching out to devs. We're buying Humble Bundle keys. We're giving away some keys, bro. You want to be there for that episode.
Yeah. So what right now, what it's looking like is 2 weeks period to choose the categories, 2 weeks period to take votes on the winners, and then we'll probably take a couple of weeks of prep time where we'll probably not do the weekly shows on the channel. We'll probably do some stuff, right? Some gameplay, some streams, some things like that, so that we can still interact. But an episode of this magnitude is a massive undertaking. So it's going to take some prep time. And if I'm doing weekly shows, it's going to cut into that time a whole lot. Now, we said the same thing last year, and we still did the weekly shows anyway. But I think that it would behoove us to take that time for preparation because I do expect the 2020 show to be an expansion over the 2019 show.
Absolutely. So. The 2020 extravaganza. I keep trying to change the name, and Wes keeps saying, no, it's the 2020 show.
We could, if the community wants it, let us know. Maybe we'll change it to the 2020 extravaganza.
Yeah.
But I kind of like 2020 show.
I do too.
Anyway, let's move on here. Let's talk about some rumors, Roots, and really some well substantiated rumors, and one that has got me quite excited. This past week, data that was allegedly obtained from Capcom in a recent hack suggests that a VR version of Resident Evil 4 is going to be coming to Oculus headsets next year. As reported by PC Gamer, Capcom's network was breached on November 2nd as a part of a ransomware attack, which saw the public release of an alleged 1 terabyte of internal data. Capcom confirmed the leak in a press release, saying that a hacker group called Ragnar Locker destroyed and encrypted data on its servers in an effort to extort money from the company. PC Gamer maintains that both the name and supposed release date was included in a calendar for a VR version of Resident Evil 4 for Oculus, cited as arriving in April 2021. Resident Evil 4 VR will be an Oculus exclusive and will be listed as a project under Capcom's 21st anniversary Resident Evil project. The data also suggests that upcoming Resident Evil Village will arrive in April 2021, with the Resident Evil Netflix series Infinite Darkness following in May. So it appears, Roots, that all of the people outside of the PlayStation ecosphere that have been hungry for Resident Evil in VR aren't going to have to wait too much longer. And it's not going to come in the form of Resident Evil 7, but rather a brand new Oculus exclusive version of Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, Capcom's like, fuck, I'm not bringing Resident Evil 7 to PC. I'm going to bring something new that's going to just drive people crazy. This is amazing. I never even seen gameplay of this game, but it looks really cool. And it's got to give you hope, right? Like, I mean, even though your hope is not dashed, and I know that PlayStation VR is getting Resident Evil 8. And in my opinion, just the fact that this is happening on Oculus, it has to be happening. If this is true, Resident Evil 8 is solid now. It's, in my mind, it's solidified with this with this rumor, if it's true. I think they're hitting both ends of the fence. I think it's exciting.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, and I really have no doubt that Resident Evil 8 is going to support VR. We've got enough substantial leaks from reputable sources at this point to pretty much that's pretty much confirmed. The question is now whether or not it's going to launch with the game, or whether or not Sony's going to hold it in their back pocket until they release new hardware. That's really the only question I have.
Yeah. Oh, it's an exciting time for sure. And man, this is going to be amazing in VR. I don't know, man. This seems to be a credible rumor, right? Like there's enough of
Oh
real
yeah.
there to say that this is coming. At least I think it
Yeah,
is.
Capcom pretty much confirmed that this is completely real, and for PC Gamer to report it, I mean, it's pretty much confirmed at this point. This is coming. The only question now is whether or not this is going to be a Quest exclusive, or is
Hmm.
this is going to be something that gets a PC version as well.
Yeah, so that's a good question, man. You know, we're starting to see that games can be made for Quest only and be really good. And how cool would it be if it was a Quest exclusive? Like, I mean, Quest platform exclusive. I mean, I guess it wouldn't be cool for Drillo, but it would be cool for Roots. It would draw a lot of people in. If the only way you could play this was on a standalone Quest, there'd be a lot of Quests being sold, and a lot of people eating crow for that said that they would never get a Facebook headset.
Yeah, and the game as we see it in this trailer, I don't see anything here that I don't think that Quest 2 could handle.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't even think
You know,
that
I,
most people have seen what Quest can handle. I think they've just kept it dialed back for the most part, right? So
Yeah, I mean, we're starting to see it in certain games like Audica and The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. It's the Quest 2 enhancement patches. They keep coming. Aspire 1 got one this week. Um, so yeah, I think that that device is very capable, and it never ceases to amaze me what they can do with these mobile processors.
Technoglitch says if RE7 came to PC, would you play it with just a game controller? Absolutely. And Alakazam says Resident Evil is not coming to PC. I'm assuming you're calling this rumor fake news, and maybe it is. We'll see.
I
I
think he's
believe it
probably
is.
talking about RE7.
Okay.
Because people are still holding out hope for this at this point. But we learned also as a part of these leaks Roots that Sony paid Capcom $5 million a few years ago to secure the timed exclusivity
Mm.
for RE7 VR, a demo, and all of the DLC. So,
Did it say how long that was? Is it ran out?
well, I mean, I think that was pretty common knowledge. It ran out years ago.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the only way it's going to come to PC, in my opinion, because I'm still holding out, would just be as an afterthought. It's got to be so easy to fucking port a game over that it's like, why not? But I agree with you, especially when they're bringing. Why bring 7 out? They're bringing 4 out, right? Um, so I don't know. I would love to play this on PC or Resident Evil 7 on PC VR, but I'm starting to not hold my breath, Wes, because I'm now going into the realm of reality and realizing it's probably not coming.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is, Roots, is that Resident Evil 4 is coming, and I've never played this game before, Roots.
Wow. I think I might have played a little bit of it. All of these Resident Evils look very familiar. And it's funny because my son's memory is better than mine. He'll be like, oh, yeah, you played through that when I was a kid or whatever it was. So I don't know if I did or not on this one, but if I do, I don't remember. And I'm hoping that we find out very soon that this is coming like January 2021. When we're all locked down, we'll be fighting off the zombies in VR.
Yeah, back in the day, I was kind of frustrated with where they took Resident Evil as a series because I was a fan of the original Resident Evil,
Mm,
and per the title, the concept was that you're in this creepy manor, right? This big estate that you're working your way through, exploring rooms, dealing with all sorts of various monsters and dangerous things, and all of the sequels got away from that. So
mm,
from Resident Evil 2 on, I quit playing it because it wasn't what I wanted. I wanted to go back to that indoors, you know, uh, exploration style game. that Resident Evil 7 returned to. So, my I'm not such a purist anymore as I used to be when it comes to it. So I am very much looking forward to this game as well as Resident Evil 8 Village.
It's got a creepy pirate kid, dude. A ghost, kid ghost, pirate kid ghost. I mean, who doesn't want that in VR in 2020? So
I don't know, bro.
it looks good.
No, yeah, yeah. It looks. I think that it'll be amazing. Capcom, they did a wonderful job with Resident Evil 7. I'm sure this will be no different.
Yeah. Man, Drilla says RE6 sucks. I don't know. I've never played RE6. I'll take your word for it, Drilla. You have I trust your opinion.
But anyway, let's move on down the line. Time is a ticking away. I wanted to say a few words about PlayStation VR Roots, and I want to talk a little bit about Blood and Truth. Those of you who watched the Monday show this past week, I detailed my time playing PlayStation VR on PS5, and to make a long story short, I detailed how demoralized I was as I went through game after game, seeing minimal, quality increases. But it wasn't until the last game I played that everything turned around for me. And the last game I played was Blood and Truth, and I was just blown away, speechless at how beautiful this game was in that old PlayStation VR headset. Everything had so much detail and was so crisp. I mean, it was hard to make out pixels on the stuff that was up close. And that's saying something for this 4-year-old headset. Well, we have learned in subsequent days, Roots, why Blood and Truth looks so good on PlayStation 5. London Studios has announced in a Q&A blog post that Blood and Truth runs at 4K 90 frames per second natively on the PlayStation 5. Obviously, the PSVR headset is not capable of 4K visuals, but this boost to the native resolution, performance, and everything else results in a much sharper, clearer, and more detailed image inside the headset still. I'll just tell you again, Roots, this is the best looking thing I've ever seen in that headset.
Wow. Wow, it's just such a good action game too, man. And like I said, this is exactly what I would want being said about my game. If I was a developer and I had a PlayStation VR game in 2020 going into 2021, I want people to be talking about how this is the game you have to play it on PlayStation 5. It's the only game that utilizes the graphics and the frames per second and gives you that native 90 hertz, right? Because most of the games are doubled from 60 to 120 on the PlayStation, so it's going to feel better as well. To me, it's next level for PlayStation VR, and I think more developers need to be getting on that list of we give a fuck. We're going to update our game for the hardware, and we're going to make sure it looks and runs phenomenal. We haven't given up on our game because we're moving on to the next thing. It just says a lot for the developer as well. Like as I do this longer, Wes, I develop a lot more respect for certain developers because you see that they're working their ass off. Every time something happens, they're right there reacting, making sure they're at the top. And then there's a lot of other developers that kind of like put their hands up and like, COVID and whatever the fucking excuses are. So I give props to these developers for sure.
Absolutely. Speaking of awesome developers, PlayStation's London Studios technical director, Bruno Ribeiro, went into quite a bit of detail about the technical advancements made in the update to PlayStation 5. What time is it, Roots?
Quote time.
Quote time. Epic length quote time here. Got quite a lot of information here. I didn't want to leave any of it out, so we've got it all. Quote, Blood and Truth uses dynamic resolution in all platforms. That means that it adapts its internal resolution to the action so that we achieve a perfect frame rate at all times. The PS4 Pro version tops out at 1440p, and on PS5, we allow it to go up to 4K. Even though the PSVR display is only 1080p, all those extra pixels will be combined for a higher quality final result. Like most high end PSVR games, Blood and Truth on PS4 runs at 60 frames per second with a reprojected 120 Hz output on the headset. On PS5, it runs at 90 frames per second with a 90 Hz output, leading to a more responsive game and better image quality under motion. On PS4, we use different levels of detail for assets, depending on distance and scene complexity. On PS5, we use the highest detail version available at all times. We've tweaked this on PS5 to force higher quality output across the whole game. The increased speed from the PS5's SSD also means we can load textures much more quickly. So as you move around the levels, we can stream the best possible resolution. It's things like this that make the game world come alive. So there's a lot in that statement there, Roots. And it just goes to show you the potential for the old PlayStation VR on the new console if we can get proper support from developers.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we're only what week in, and they've already tweaked it this much. And like I said, it just shows you how much work they're putting in for this game. And this is now, in my opinion, become one of the must-own games, if it wasn't already, for PlayStation VR, just because of the story, the action, and now it's the best-looking game and probably the best feeling game in PlayStation VR as well, at least on the 5. So
Yeah, man. And then, like, probably what, the first game ever to run at a native 90 hertz, other than the two on the original that run at a native 120, Polybius and Chorix. But those are rather simplistic graphically, not anything like this that is just beautiful.
yeah, yeah, it makes me want to have a PlayStation 5, Wes.
Well, talk to your friend Jim Hall. I hear he can help you out
He can
there.
hook it up. Yeah, he doesn't have. I don't have the money for it. That's my problem. I don't even look.
Well, you have a street corner, don't you?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. What am I doing? Should be
Go out
out
there and
there.
do what the rest of us have to do, man. Hustle.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't want to dwell on this too much. I said everything I needed to say about it on this past week's Monday show. Be sure to go back and check that out if you haven't already. Uh, Roots, we finally got some news on the Microsoft Flight Simulator front. The VR beta launch for Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 has been released. The VR beta support extends to Windows mixed reality headsets as well as Steam VR headsets and Oculus Rift. In order to access the very limited VR functionality, you must install an OpenXR plugin as well as manually edit your registry.
Mm.
Then you'll have to launch a flight on your flat screen in free flight mode. After takeoff, you'll press a button combo on your keyboard to enable VR mode.
Mm.
Then all you have to do is put on the headset, press spacebar to recenter, and blingo, blango, boingo, Microsoft Flight Simulator in VR. Roots, this sounds like a jank fest clusterfuck to me. Are you going to do this?
I don't know. I'm trying to. I was listening for more direction because at some point I expected you to tell me I needed to grab my partner and round around dosey do. Like that to me is too much, dude. Like at some point, I don't even see Overg's doing it. Like he's wants to get in there, bro. But I've never heard that I've got to edit my registry. You know, don't they warn you about doing that? Like you don't want to fuck your computer up, right? I don't know, man. I think I'll wait for it to drop officially. I haven't even touched it. I bought it, played it for a little bit, and when it comes out, I'll play it absolutely. But no, I don't want any part of this jank fest.
Yeah, man. See, I'm torn because I really want to check this out in VR, but this isn't a full VR mode. It's not like you can like go into VR and take off and use your motion controls to manipulate the controls. This is literally a VR video mode that you can send the signal to your headset and it'll track your head. But everything you have to do on your keyboard. And in
Mm.
order to even do it, like you've got to literally open up the Windows registry editor and follow some very specific instructions on editing the registry for it even to work. I mean, come on. I mean, why wouldn't they just take a couple of weeks here and set up something that installs itself rather than make people jump through all of these hoops just to get a limited VR mode?
I don't know. Maybe it rules it, and I not even maybe it 100% is going to weed out. It's kind of like when you ask why there's so many steps for welfare. You know what I mean? Well, if it's a fucking nightmare, people are like, I'm noping out, dude. This is just too much. The Overgees, he says he'll take it, the jank or not. He's excited, right? The true fanatical people that really that they have to play this in VR, they'll do all those loops, and then they can tell us, hopefully it doesn't break your computer, bro. That's my biggest thing. I would be really pissed if I did some kind of registry changing and it somehow messed it up. And anybody that says that's not possible doesn't understand what changing your registry is. So
Yeah,
I
you'll have you'll have to follow these instructions very carefully, to say the least.
Yeah, yeah, I'll pass. But I am excited. I do want to fly. Like who doesn't? We talked about this the other day in one of my streams. Google Earth has screwed me out of walking the streets of Wuhan, but I'm still pretty sure I should be able to fly out of Wuhan or at least land there. My plane needs to go. I need to go to Wuhan. I'm not doing it in real life, so hopefully it'll happen soon.
Well, you'll probably be able to land there, but I wouldn't count on being able to take back off.
Do you think I'll go into quarantine for 14 days?
I think you might, and
Oh
just hope
God.
you make it out, bro.
Yeah, dude. They're
Jarillo says that I officially named Jankfest Clusterfuck a new genre of gaming. And
it's out there.
GamerChick13 says, I think that there are many games that would fit into the genre, Jarillo. And then she talks about the JFCF award. Roots, I think we might have our first official new award for the 2020 show, the Jankfest Clusterfuck Award.
I wonder who's going to win that award. I can't wait to see the thumbnail for it as well.
Yeah, I know, right? So there we go, folks. This is the type of stuff we're looking for. Gamer Chick unwittingly, helping us shape and mold the 2020 show in real time.
Yeah, she did it.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Anyway, I just wanted to mention that for those of you who are interested, you go to the Microsoft Flight Simulator website. There you will see a very extensive set of instructions, different sets for different headsets, by the way. It's not all universal, so be sure that you're doing the right one. And you too can fly across the skies, keyboard in hand.
Maybe. You're very limited.
Maybe.
You got to jump through a lot of hoops to be the limited few.
I'm not saying I won't do it at some point, Roots, but my time is precious, bro. That sounds like it would take a day at least, just dedicated to this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gamer Chick says that she loves that we might make that award. She needs to go back and check out the 2019. That award will fit right in.
Yeah.
We've got tons of awesome award categories.
I was looking at some of the names, Wes. I forgot how good they were. The community came out with some good stuff last year.
Yeah, man. I love the 2020 show and the 2019 show. It was a lot of fun. Probably our best episode we ever did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Star Wars Squadrons, Roots. In case you want a less janky flight experience in VR, we just learned from a blog post that EA Motive has revealed 2 free content updates that are scheduled to hit Star Wars Squadrons this year. The first of the 2 updates releases next week on November 25th as Update 3.0. Additional fixes and balancing changes will happen as usual, but the more exciting news is that it's going to include a brand new map that will be added to both fleet battles and dogfight mode, as well as brand new components for ship loadouts, including the boost extension kit for fighters and bombers, ion rockets for interceptors and fighters, prototype piercing torpedoes for bombers and fighters, and anti-material rocket turrets for support ships. The December update will add two new ships to the game, the B-Wing and the TIE Defender. The December update will also introduce custom matches. This will allow 1 to 5 players per side to queue any of the maps in the game in either dogfight or fleet battle mode. You'll be able to modify settings for things like your ship's hull, shield, and damage output, capital ship health, and more. So a great game becomes even greater, Roots. Do you think we'll finally find the motivation to get back into it?
I was actually thinking about it recently, just because, like I said, I've been messing with the link cable and the super sampling, and I want to see how good this game can look super sample. Now, I will tell you that the super sampling of the link is not unlimited without the 3090. I'm sure Wes would have no issues whatsoever, but I tried Hellblade 1.5. Ain't happening, bro. Not on my computer anyway. So I would imagine this is going to be similar. But yeah, no, I want to get back into this. I got the HOTUS. I keep joking with people, and it is a joke. Anybody that took me seriously, but I keep joking, Wes, that I look over at my HOTUS and it's just too much to hook it up. And Delirium Drew, the sound in his voice when I said that, he was like, "You just have to plug it in." I was like, "Dude, it's too much for me, bro." But
Yeah, Roots don't want no friction, like
none,
zero.
zero.
Putting the headset on is the maximum amount of effort Roots wants to go through to play VR.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've been dealing with a lot of weirdness with my Oculus Link cable lately, and I'm thinking it may be damaged. So much so that I've already put in for a replacement cable from Amazon. But guess what, Wes? I got to wait till January 8th for that sucker to come
Oh,
in. So,
wow. You know, I got mine for free.
well, yeah, okay. So you got it's not the elbow one, right? Or not the one that the official
No, it's
official.
not the official. It's the anchor one that the Oculus
Oh.
Q&A suggests
I'm gonna
people
I'm
go
gonna
for.
I'm gonna try to. There's one that's for $12. I'm gonna try to buy it over the next day or two, because somebody said in the Discord, and they were saying they've been doing this, or not Discord, in the chat, they were doing this as well, where they're plugging in their headset when it's getting low to the block, right, using that cable. And I was doing that a couple nights ago with Virtual Desktop. I had Virtual Desktop running, but I had that cable plugged into the power block, and so I was still streaming wirelessly, but I was able to do it without. Well, I was streaming wirelessly with a connector, but it was when the link was giving me issues. It was my workaround, but it was the chat that keeps me out of there, is being able to see that chat. Because the virtual desktop, at least now, is so superior of a experience compared to the link for me. Um, but I don't know. It keeps going back and forth. So.
Yeah, I would say this: if you're buying a cable to use as a link cable, beware. Some of them don't work as well as others. But if you're just getting it for charging purposes, then most of them should work. It's kind of unfortunate that one of the things that the Oculus Quest 1 had that the Oculus Quest 2 doesn't was a long cable. The cable that came with the Oculus Quest 1 was long enough to charge while you play.
Mm.
It wasn't long enough to use as a link cable, but it was long enough to charge while you play. So yeah, kind of unfortunate that they went down to the 3-foot cable
Yeah,
with the new one.
it makes sense. They're like, we want to sell this extra piece of equipment, but we're giving it away to everybody. So they made sure the second one, they didn't give it away. And it does kind of suck, because even if you're not using, the cable does exactly that. It charges, but it isn't a link cable. So what? Just make it long, dude. Everybody loves long. You know who else likes it long, Wes?
My yes, I do. Oh, Roots, I was getting ready to force one in there, but you effortlessly
Slipped
slid
it
right
in.
in and saved the day.
Yeah.
Anyway, dude, this game's been on my short list for a while now. Anyway, pretty much ever since I got my G2, uh, this one's been on the list, right? Because there's a single player campaign in this, bro, and I'm a massive Star Wars fan. By the way, tune in tomorrow for our thoughts on Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge, as well as Tarzan VR. Roots, Tarzan VR already patched. Uh, how awesome is Stonepunk Studios. I gave them a bunch of feedback after I did my video playthrough last week, which I didn't play through the whole thing. I edited it up so that as to not to spoil the episode. But I gave Stonepunk Studios some feedback after that of some things that they need to improve. And dude, they got right on it. The patch is already out, and I haven't tried it yet, but I expect it to be even better than the first playthrough.
That's awesome. And how crazy is it? If you haven't checked it out, Tarzan Anthony's in it. And I heard, I thought it was funny, Wes, and your reaction to hearing Anthony in there. I'll let people watch the video to get it. But yeah, no, I think Tarzan's definitely amazing that they patched it already. That's cool.
Oh, dude, and there's more amazing things coming down the line, and there's a lot of it that I can't talk about, so I'm not going to talk about any of it. But I'll say this: there's a segment after I do my outro in the video. I do my outro and then I let the video run for a little bit, and that specific segment will inspire a future update to this game, and I'll just leave it at that because I don't
Mm.
know what I'm allowed to talk about and what I'm not. But there's quite a few updates coming to the game, content and quality of life. So stay tuned on this one. It's going to be a game that improves over time.
Cool.
But that said, let's move on to our last piece of news of the week. We got a new gameplay trailer of Flow Weaver. This is a game that we talked about recently from Stitch Media and Silverstring Media. They announced the game last month, and it is a new puzzle adventure being designed for Oculus headsets. As mentioned before, the teams have now revealed gameplay as well as further details about the project. Flow Weaver is described as a multi dimensional escape room where you're trapped in a single room but are able to control flows, which are a way of moving between dimensions which overlap the material world. All of the gameplay is entirely seated routes, so it should be a comfortable experience over the 3 hour duration uh, of the game. We I got a quote here. It says, "quote We noticed that a majority of VR gamers had played standing, using a wide range of movement, and that this didn't encourage users to remain in these games or experiences for an extended period of time. We focus on long play sessions that allow a stronger narrative and free up the physical limitations of the user." So, what they're saying here, Roots, is that they purposely made this a seated game because it's story based and they want people pretty much to play through the entire game in one sitting.
I don't know. Well, hey, and it's one sitting, right? I'll tell you what, I've been playing a lot of standing VR, and sometimes I just want to sit down, Wes. It's kind of nice to have a driven game, right? Yeah, so.
Nito Burrito says, "Who the F is getting lucky in Kentucky?" This guy right here, bro.
Oh, yeah, dude. Hey, Reckoner
Uh,
VR just dropped in, or at least I just saw his comment. So what's up, Gary?
yeah, what's up, brother? Yeah, Roots. I'm kind of down with what they're saying here. I play most VR seated these days because my feet hurt, bro. I work for a living. So when I come home, I don't want to stay on my feet. I want to sit down. So I also am I'm partial to story-driven games. This is the type of thing that I like. So here they're saying that they're going to let me sit down so that I can enjoy the story and play a little bit longer. Hey, I'm all for it, and I'm very appreciative.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm debating buying some kind of padding for my floor because I've been standing so much, and man, it takes a toll on your feet. You don't realize it until you've been standing for 10 hours streaming, and it's like, dude, this is just too much. So
Yeah, I wear ankle supports when I stand so I can get a little extra arch support because there are some games that, I mean, like I can't play Pistol Whip sitting down. I mean, I guess I could, but I wouldn't make it very far.
Even population one is weird because if you want to crouch or something, man, how do you do that when you're on a stool or a chair? It just becomes difficult. Like if they added a crouch button, then I could be on board. But
Yeah,
um,
absolutely. And there are certain things that I always suggest to all developers whenever I test these games out. Co-op being one, and a sprint button being another, and crouch button being the third thing. These things should be universal
yeah,
in most games anyway.
yeah, just remember options are good. People don't
Option.
have to have them. They don't have to use them. Just get to if they want.
Anyway, a Flow Weaver looks absolutely amazing to me. I love the concept here of dimension hopping as a way to play through an escape room, and it appears that the production value is there, as well as the voice acting and storytelling. So we've still got some time to wait on this one, but this early footage looks amazing to me.
Yeah, looks really good. Looks like it was something that would be fun. And like you said, you nailed it. The acting, that's got to be like I realized that with like Star Wars. Like the acting makes a big difference. You can't get around it. Like if you have the acting as spot on, everything kind of falls into place, in my opinion. So
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, and it's something that's becoming more commonplace in VR games these days. Even a lot of these indie games have actually pretty decent voice acting in them, uh, which isn't something that even flat games can say right now.
no, no, just if you avoid your mom, your sister, your brother, it sounds good in theory. They're not good voice actors. They're not professionals. Don't do it. So
Absolutely, and there is believe me, a host of people out there looking for acting work, and voice acting in video games is actually kind of becoming a cool thing to do, even for big A-list Hollywood celebrities.
it's easy. You do it from your home. You don't even have to go into the studio, bro. Well, maybe.
Yeah, and it's a more effective way in many ways to tell a story, especially in VR, right? Than even like movies. You're very limited with film, and we have some very artistic directors that make some amazing films. But the VR experience, I mean, you don't have to have it wrapped up in 2 hours, right? You can make it 10 hours. You can make it 20 hours, and effectively tell a story by immersing the user in the world and interacting with them directly.
Yeah.
So I got to imagine as an artist or an actor that working in VR must be very appealing to these people.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's becoming more popular and it's fun.
You can do it at home.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything you can do from home is good. So
Yeah, I think I might be a voice actor. Roots. I've actually considered auditioning before because it's not that difficult to get into, and
do it.
I do have some small amount of acting experience back in college. Uh, I took some classes and stuff. So
Do it.
who knows?
I want to see it.
You won't see it. You'll hear it though.
I want to hear it. Yeah.
Anyway, Flow Weaver in development for the Oculus Quest platform and Oculus Rift with a launch slated for 2021.
Oh, cool. So not that far.
Yeah, early 2021, if I'm not mistaken. I'm thinking that they're targeting January, but maybe I'm just thinking about something else.
Yeah. Well, not that far either way. So
All right. With that said, that's going to wrap the news for the week and bring us into our weekly reminders. And to kick things off, just like last week, we're going to start with our reminders of what's out this week coming. What's coming to VR this week? Not much, not the list that we had last week, Roots, but the one game that we are getting. I cannot overstate, or yeah, I can't overstate how excited I am for this game. This game looks amazing to me. Hinge is finally releasing this week, episode 1 from Arcadia, coming to us on November 27th, 2020. Roots, this is a Lovecraftian style horror game that looks like it's going to be absolutely surreal from the very first moment you strap the headset on. I've been pumped for this one. So I can't wait to jump in and check it out.
Yeah, I'm psyched as well. I am looking forward to it. It looks like it's going to. This is the one that's got. It's just like things are going to change on you, right?
Yeah, dude, everything's constantly changing, and this there are things in this building that you're trapped in that want to get you, and they're constantly trying to get at you. So,
I don't want to be gotten, Wes. Not by something at
well, you
all.
about to get got, bro.
I don't want to, bro. It looks creepy. It looks good, and I'll tell you what. Not every. I'm not like you. I don't want to experience every horror game. I want to go in this one. This one looks like it definitely is very creepy, and the lighting looks phenomenal. I really want to see how good this lighting looks inside the
Yeah,
headset.
the whole game looks phenomenal, and like the cool thing about it, Roots, is that this is episodic, right? So that means that we're going to continue to get these experiences from Arcadia, but they're not chumps. They know what people don't like about these episodic deals, so we don't have to worry about this being a 1 to 2 hour deal. They're estimating 3 to 4 hours of gameplay here in the first episode.
Wow, that's good. That's and the people say, "Oh, it's only 3 to 4 hours." Like it's one episode, bro. Like how long do you want it to be? That's good. I like it.
Yeah, I'm loving it. Looking forward to it. Again, out in 5 days, November 27th. So
Oh
be
wow.
on the lookout for that.
Yeah. Techno Glitch says he doesn't want to Franken quest his quest. I don't either, bro. Like just give me the extra strap, the one that came with it, or that I bought, and I'm good.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to it. If I were going to buy a battery strap, I would certainly consider buying the Vive Deluxe Audio strap just for the comfort purposes because people say it's the most comfortable way to wear the headset. And I can say from wearing my G2 for a week, there's room for improvement over the Oculus Quest 2 comfort, even though it is much improved over the original.
It's all about the swivel. We swivel that stuff. I'll tell you what. There's something about having everything built inside. I don't want an external battery hanging out. Don't want to have to strap it on there. I don't want to have to do a bunch of extra addition of adding, I just like the simplicity of taking what was built for it. I'm the person that I was preaching to with the Quest 1. I didn't want to do all the weird shit and have shit hanging off the back and counterbalancing. I just wanted an official solution that Oculus offered. I didn't care how much it was. I wanted it all built in one, so everything is synced. There's no wires going everywhere. So for me, that I love the solution, but I get the do-it-yourself solution as well, especially if you've already got the Vive attachment. It's a no-brainer, dude. Why would I buy the Elite strap if I already had one? So it is viable, but I think that would be the only viable way I would alter my Quest would be with that Vive solution, because all the other shit is weird and janky and stuff's hanging on. Dude, when somebody was hanging, what was it? A pack of batteries, or like there's things that are just bizarre, man. I'm not like looking to put a coffee mug hanging off the back of my thing for counterweight. You know what I mean? Like it's just weird, bro.
Yeah, well, I was totally with you during the Quest 1 era. I don't want to zip tie shit and have counterweights either. The solution is much more elegant for the Oculus Quest 2 because now you can get 3D printed attachments. So
Mm.
there's no zip tie to it. You just click everything together, and that's it. You have a strap that looks like it's natively made for the Quest. So with that being the case now, I wouldn't be too opposed to trying it out.
Yeah, yeah. I guess you'd have to buy the zip, all that extra stuff, but yeah, if you can, it's good.
Anyway, that brings us to our wish list segment where we ask you, the viewers, to join us in real time as we do our part to support these developers that bring us these amazing games. How do we support them? Well, we're all going to go right now. We're at our computers anyway. We're all going to go right now and wish list a game. It could be any of these awesome games that we've talked about today, and there are a lot of them, or it could be another game that's just something that's been on your mind lately. But wish listing these games is a big deal to these developers. It helps to raise the profile of their game on the different stores, as well as helps them to gauge the interest of the public in general. So I ask you all, please, to join us right now as we go wish list the game. Roots, what are you going to wish list this week?
I'm looking at Myst on the Oculus Quest 2 platform. It was funny too because I just went to the Rift Link platform and I'm like, it's not there. Well, it's because it's Quest only, bro. So I just added that to my wish list. I'm surprised it wasn't on there already. Although I will submit that they need to add a tab, Wes. Why can I not have a tab in my Oculus software that says Quest 2 for their store? Why do I have to go to an actual website page? But if I got the Rift, if I got the link, I can go into the app and I can buy that way on my PC anyway. I don't understand why it won't just let me look at my Quest shit in my Rift app.
I know. I've always wondered this myself. It's the damnedest thing, isn't it? Like on the mobile app, you can do everything, but on the PC app, which by the way you need to link to use link, it won't allow you to access the Quest games or the Quest store. None of it. So yeah, it is kind of weird. I gotta agree.
It's weird. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I did. Missed, and I am excited. I can't believe we're so close, bro. And if you would have asked me yesterday or before I heard this news when Mist was coming out, I'd say easily 2021, maybe halfway through the year. I don't know. So
Yeah, I know, right? And we're getting it already. So that's amazing.
yeah,
I'm adding Contractors VR to my Quest wish list because seeing what these other um, what these other developers have been able to do with these Quest 2 enhancement patches, I think Contractors VR is going to end up being amazing on Oculus Quest.
yeah, I hope so, dude. Because there's a lot of people that love contractors, myself included. I need to get back in there, and I keep saying this every single time. It's the damn mods, man. And at least maybe it's for me. I have issues with downloading the map. Sometimes it glitches my game, and then I got to restart over. And yeah,
Well, hopefully that won't be the case this time, huh?
yeah, yeah, absolutely.
All right, Roots, and that brings us to free stuff and killer deals, Roots. And I'm going to kick it off a little different this time. We're going to talk a little bit about uh, purchasing hardware for maybe the first time ever on free stuff and killer deals because the Oculus Quest 2 holiday bundle has been announced. And for all new Oculus Quest 2 purchases now through, I think, the end of January, you will receive a free copy of Asgard's Wrath. All you got to do is go pick up an Oculus Quest 2, connect it to your PC via link cable, and that's all you got to do. And you will receive a free copy of Asgard's Wrath. Roots, if you're going to give away a game and you want to blow people away, this is the one to give away, right?
Yeah, this is the one to give away, and it's the one to give away to salty players that are bitching. Or this is the first thing I said when the Discord when somebody announced that this was happening. I said, I can hear the Quest people already that just bought the Quest last week bitching, and that's exactly
Oh,
what happened,
dude.
right? People freaked the fuck out.
Yeah, and I kind of feel their pain. I don't own this game, Roots.
What?
I don't own this game. I've always played this game through our shared libraries.
Hmm.
I've never owned it, and I've been thinking about buying it because I do want to get back into it, and I kind of feel weird now with the Facebook integration and all this stuff. I kind of feel weird about sharing Oculus stuff like we used to.
Hmm.
So I was just going to buy this, but now I'm kind of feel slighted, right? I just bought this headset, 2 months ago. And now, like, people who didn't early adopt get rewarded with a free game, $40 AAA game. Where's my copy at, Roots? That's what I want to know.
I want mine. Where's mine, bro? I'll tell you what, dude. And just mine in general. It's funny because I do see both sides of it. Because if I just bought the Quest, and I didn't own this game, I would be upset. And I didn't really think about that, Wes, as far as like the weirdness of the Facebook accounts. I also think it's probably better to just back away slowly from using anybody else's stuff. It's just not a good idea. But a lot of people. There's two things going on in the in the Reddit of what I've seen is people saying, "Hey, dude, bro, just return your old one." You know that because it's Christmas time, the return window is you know, you can return it and then reactivate a new account. But I don't know if that would work because you're activating it to Facebook itself. And then the second is there was a post and they said that they contacted the developers or Oculus, and Oculus said the best way to fix this is for people to come out in unison on the Reddits and other places and just let it be known, hey, we want our free copy too, and that could spur them giving it to everybody. So be
Well,
vocal.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what's going to spur it along even quicker than that, Roots, or at least maybe teach them a lesson so that they don't do it again next year. And I'm not going to condone this, or I'm not even going to put two and two together for you guys. But I will share just a couple of things about my experience with you. As many of you know, I've owned two of these Oculus Quest headsets because Oculus was late shipping mine. I went to Walmart and picked one up so I could have one on launch day. The Walmart one that I bought, I noticed it, and it was very peculiar that they did not track the serial number on the receipt. They don't know which headset you're getting. They sell it just like it's a candy bar. Like they don't track individual headsets. And Walmart does allow for 15-day refund window.
Mm.
So I'm not going to put two and two together for you guys there, but I could see Oculus, due to their boneheaded error here, receiving a sea of returned headsets. Because where there's a will, there's a way, Roots, and I'm going to get my free copy.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, you deserve your free copy, dude. You bought the Quest. I think a blowback as well, and like I said, people being vocal in the on the Reddit posts. There's places to sign up saying, "Hey, I want my free copy." Because I'm not like you, Wes. I own the copy, so it didn't really it just kind of rolled off my back. But I would be a little upset. Like I spent my $400 just like everybody else, and you nailed it with the way you said it. Um, you're being rewarded for being an early adopter by being fucked. You know what I mean? Like, I don't see how this doesn't retroactively get fixed because people are pissed. You know, so
Well, they did the same thing. This is what people are saying, that they did the same thing last time with the Oculus Quest 1, but it's different. With Oculus Quest 1, they launched that in April, right? They didn't launch it in September. We haven't had this thing. I mean, we're barely outside the return window on it. So it's kind of different this time around. Plus, they gave out Vader Immortal, before, and now they're giving out Asgard's Wrath, which is apples and oranges as well. But no big deal. Two trips to Walmart, and I'm going to have my free copy. So
yeah,
and I'm going to have a brand new headset too.
yeah, it'll be a freshie, bro. Everybody loves a
It'll be a
freshie.
freshie.
Yeah.
Exactly.
See, I'm still in my window. I could send it back my headset to Amazon. You know what's cool about Amazon is as long as you promise to send it back, they'll ship you the other one out. Maybe I need to do
Oh,
that.
Amazon's great, dude. Like I've had shit like not show up here before because UPS steals it, and all I've ever had to do is just call Amazon and tell them, and they just send me another one.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah, their customer service is great. They're very trusting. I'm sure if you're someone who calls all the time trying to get free stuff, they'll call you out on it. But
You get on the list, then you don't get shit probably.
right, right. Anyway, I got to pick up the pace. I've got about 5 minutes before I got to hit the door. So let's talk about some killer deals, Roots. As always, we want to remind you all that your PS Plus games for the month of November are Middle Earth: Shadow of War, Hollow Knight, the Void Heart Edition, as well as Bug Snacks for you PS5 owners out there. So
Mm.
be sure to pick those titles up if you haven't already. Roots, PSVR is having an epic sale this month. One of the biggest sales I've ever seen in PlayStation VR, and many, many must own titles are on sale. So I've put together a brief list for you here. this isn't half of the titles that are on sale, but these are the ones I think that you should go buy right now. Star Wars Squadrons, Roots. All of this support it's getting, and it's a new game, $24 already on sale on PlayStation VR.
That's insane,
Uh,
dude. That
I
just
know
came
it,
out,
right?
dude. Yeah. Well, what's funny, Wes, is when I looked at this list of games that are here, I thought, oh my God, this could be named Wes's favorites on sale because every one of them is a phenomenal price, right?
Yeah, dude. Arizona Sunshine, $15, which is a $40 game, even still. And the deluxe versions are on sale as
Oh
well. If you
wow.
want the DLC, you can get it all on sale.
Yeah, and that's one of the best shooters for co-op, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I use it for, and I just played it within the last couple of weeks. I was in Arizona Sunshine playing co-op, so
Nice.
absolutely. Resident Evil 7, the greatest game of all time, $10.
Oh, come on, $10, dude. You gotta own
Ten
this game.
bucks.
That's all it takes, bro.
Uh, Another of the greatest games of all time, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, $28. Roots a deal on that game.
Yeah, dude, this is a new one as well. This is a must own, must play today. If you don't own this, you got to get it.
I would say that that's true for pretty much everything on this list. Farpoint, $10.
Yeah, absolutely.
Iron Man VR, $20.
Dude, I was thinking about Iron Man, man. Have you played through this at all through on the PS5?
I have not, but I should because the one of the biggest problems, all of the biggest problems with this should now be solved.
Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of interested to hear how well it runs.
Yeah, long load times and performance issues was the name of the game with this one, but that should all be remedied now.
Yeah.
Speaking of games that run awesome on PS5, Blood and Truth Roots. We talked at great
Oh,
length about this on the Monday show and the day show.
hmm.
$15 for what is probably the best PSVR game on PS5 right now.
Yeah, 4K graphics. Well, not really 4K, but 1080 with all the extra pixels, right? So,
Yeah, 4K rendered, super sampled, uh, plus 90 frames native. A big difference in
yep,
this game.
yep.
Astrobot Rescue Mission, the best platformer in VR. $10.
Wow, that's a good deal, man. That's a must own as well.
Absolutely. Rush of Blood, the best rail shooter in VR and the best roller coaster in VR combined for $7.
This is another one I'd like to hear your what your thoughts are on the PlayStation 5, how it looks
We
and stuff.
talked about it on the Monday show this past week.
Oh, and then I want to remember that conversation a little bit better. That's what I need.
No, it looked really good. I thought that there might actually have been some improvement on
Oh,
this
that's
one.
right. That's right.
Wipeout. This is one I haven't tried on PS5 yet, but I need to. $10. Wipeout Omega Collection.
Yeah, this was already amazing before. I bet this looks really good.
Yeah. One game that has been confirmed to have big improvements is Dreams, and it also is on sale right now for $20.
Yeah, this is actually, I want to hear some more about this because I don't even know that you've been in there, right? Have you been in there since PlayStation 5 dropped?
I
Uh,
have not. And
yeah.
somebody asked me I think maybe Drew asked me in the comments earlier, and I got sidetracked when I was trying to answer him. No, I haven't tried it out yet. I kind of skipped over this one when I was assessing the PS5 because, to be honest, I haven't been in Dreams enough to really that I think I would notice a big improvement in it because I've only played it a few times.
So I guess that's the point is that at some point you'll transition from trying to compare to other versions to wanting to check out different things. And
Yeah,
that's where Dreams will fit in, right? So,
exactly. Firewall, I thought did show some improvement. It has been patched for PS5, and it is $13 right now on the PlayStation Store.
oh, what a steal. And people are waiting for you, Wes. People are waiting and clamoring because they need their West time in Firewall Zero Hour. There was a time when you were getting sucked in, bro. And
Yeah, then all this stuff came along and pulled me right back out.
it sure did, quick.
I thought I was out, and then they pulled me back in.
That's right.
Uh, Here They Lie, Roots, one of my very favorite games, period, is $8.
Oh, what a steal! That's a really good deal.
The the most unique game in VR, period, ever. Here
Yeah,
They Lie.
yeah, what a good deal. $8, no brainer.
Absolutely. Immortal Legacy, Roots, $10. You can get some cookie pie action.
Cookie pie. You,
$10.
you know what you can also get? You can get 6 different genres all squeezed into one. This is one of the ones that was very contested, right? People either loved it or hate it. And
Still very divisive, this game.
yeah, check it out. It's worth checking out for that price for sure.
Yeah, so definitely it's kind of all over the place when it comes to the storytelling, but the gameplay is phenomenal and the level design great. So yeah, I definitely recommend Immortal Legacy at $10 for
I
sure.
still want to slap Cookie Pie though, because she was kind of annoying.
Hey,
Maybe not
dude,
slap her,
stay
just shove her.
back up off my girl, bro.
Yeah, I'll leave her alone. Promise.
Last but not least, Paper Beast, a beautiful, interesting, very unique game in its own right. $15.
Yeah, we were just talking about this last week on the Monday show. I think that was a Monday show about how good this is and how different, right? So
Yeah, absolutely. A different game and a beautiful game in its own right. So definitely worth the $15.
yep,
All right, quickly, Epic Game Store free games for this week. The World Next Door, as well as
Elite.
Elite Dangerous. We actually got
Yeah,
a VR game this week, friends. Absolutely free of charge, and this is a popular one, Roots.
and it's a game that when I bought it, it was $40. It's expensive. It's not cheap, man, and it doesn't go on sale. At least that I can see, it doesn't go on sale too much on the other stores. So the fact that you can play it free, I picked it up as well. And this is a game that's just huge, dude. Like it took me 2 hours just to learn how to fly. And I forgot already, Wes. I need to hook back up with my HOTUS, although I don't want to plug it in. It's too much work. So.
Hey, Roots, do you know who else Tus is a HOTUS?
My mom!
I heard that about her.
My
Big time.
mom Tus. That's who.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So moving on to the Oculus Link store. Oculus Quest sales have been non-existent, by the way, since Quest 2 launch. They did the same thing with the Quest 1 launch. They will return after the sales start to slow down, but I don't expect that to happen probably until late winter, early spring. So
You know what's funny, Wes? I saw something. I don't know if it was Oculus or if it was one of the publications. I think it was Oculus referring to the store as the Link store. And then somebody else was like, "What's the Link store?" And I was like, "Oh, Wes was talking about that months ago before anybody said shit." I also referred to as the Oculus Link store. So yet again, Westradamus Junior is he's right there, bro. He knows all the stuff. All this he's coming from the future.
yeah, well, this writing was kind of on the wall. I mean, right?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what though, a lot of people don't want to see the writing, Wes. They close their eyes and then they pretend it's not there.
That's true. Completely demoralized these people.
Yeah.
Anyway, Oculus Link Store, not much doing, but a couple of must-own titles. First of all, Moths, $20, definitely worth that. And then Pixel Rip, 1995, $14.
Oh wow.
Quite a steal on that one.
Yeah, that's definitely worth it. That's a good deal.
Yeah, absolutely. Then we get to Viveport, Roots, and Viveport has their Black Friday special up now. 15% off annual subscriptions at $90.
Wow.
And they're going to throw in a kicker, Roots. You get Phasmophobia to keep for free.
Oh wow. That's a $15 value. I think that's $15. That's good.
Yep. Which bring, if you're going to buy that game anyway, that would bring your Viveport subscription to $75 for the year, which is, it's a steal, to be quite honest. When you look at that library, it's worth the full price. So
Especially if you're getting new, like we've said before, if you're new into VR, I take for granted that I have a big library, but not everybody has a big library, Wes, and sometimes they're relying on that free stuff, right? So,
yeah, and I've got to be honest, I've been using Viveport more and more lately. So
oh, good. Well,
their library has just gotten so good.
what's the one thing I was just thinking I need to play because it is in my library from Viport is that Labyrinth game. Like somebody wanted us to try that so long ago, and I look at it all the time, bro. It's in my, I won't delete it because I want to play it. So I need to do it soon.
Shiny Robot wants us to play it, and I did install it from Viport so I could check it out.
Yeah, we need to try that soon.
Absolutely. Notable games on Viport this week: Root Stargaze, just released, already available on Viport Infinity. The full version of Gnomes and Goblins, now available through Viport Infinity. So don't go spend an arm and a leg on that one. You can now just pick it up in Infinity.
Well, and that was having problems with people performance, right? I bet you could run it really well with that 3090.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't bottleneck with my CPU too bad, I think I should be able to run it pretty well.
Isn't that
definitely
sad?
Going to try it out.
Isn't it sad that we're talking about a bottlenecked CPU with the 8700K like it's a fucking piece of shit? Like it is a really good processor and it's already starting to get outdated.
Yeah, it is sad.
Yeah.
Jenny and Thaco Roots is now part of Viport Infinity. So, you heard Roots and I singing the praises of this one when it came out. If you didn't pick it up or win a copy from us, be sure to check it out on Infinity.
Yeah, now's the time.
Terminus Roots, didn't you say you tried Terminus? Am I mistaken about that?
No, I do. I did. You need to check that out, and we talk about it on the show. Because it's very artistic, very bizarre. And I think that's the one that's got different, like 6 different things or 4 different things. Like you pick one, and it just takes you through this like adventure. I don't know exactly what it is. It's just an experience, but it's really cool.
It looks cool, and I did add it to my library when I saw it. Definitely going to be checking that out, and I agree. I was thinking maybe tomorrow. We haven't decided on the Monday show topic yet. We did just the topic last week. Maybe tomorrow we just do games.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. That sounds good.
Because we've got enough to play that we could do it. But anyway, last but not least, I put Phasmophobia on the list because Phasmophobia does have an Infinity button. But when I tried to click it, it didn't add it to my library. I tried it like 50 different ways. It never added it. So I don't know if it's coming to Infinity or if it's part of Infinity, but just isn't working. But it does have the button on there. So keep an eye out for that one as well.
I would say it probably comes. It's definitely something that it's so popular, and I keep getting. I want to get in there, Wes. We have to get in there because we're missing our window, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with that completely. But I'm running out of time here, so I'll just really quickly remind you all that the Humble Fall VR bundle for $17, 5 days remaining on this one. 8 great games: Atex Cybernetic, Archangel, Killing Floor Incursion, Raw Data, I Expect You to Die, Creed, Zero Caliber, and Roots, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, all in a bundle for $17, and you're supporting charity. What are you going to do with all your extra keys? Well, I'm just going to say, I know a guy who's having a 2020 show here in just about 6 weeks that are finding homes for these homeless keys, good, loving homes.
Yeah.
So just hit us up.
We've actually got quite a few people that have contacted us already, and it's really cool to see such a community that wants to give back to other players, right? Because we're all into VR, and if you have a key and you give it to us, it's not going to us, it's going to another player that is just like you that wants a game. So that's really cool.
Yep, and you're going to support the most epic show of all time, the 2020 show.
That's right.
Anyway, that's going to wrap us up this week, friends. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Click the notification bell to stay up with all of our content. And if you like the video, click the thumbs up. You guys know the deal. We need the clicks. It's just a click. Click the things, right?
Yeah, just click them.
Of course, for those of you who've been with us longer who want to do a little something extra, you can support us on Patreon, where for as little as $3 per month, you will gain early access, mind you, to our weekly show notes, as well as the always awesome money show. So $3 a month on Patreon gets you all of that. And of course, the space where the conversation never stops, the place where we live, Roots, Discord, invitation in the description. Join us there, friends. We live there, right?
Yeah, you know who else lives there?
My mom! Mom!
She's there, bro. I guarantee it.
Absolutely. All right. Well, with that said, friends, we would like to thank you all once again for watching. And for Roots, I'm Wes. We'll see you tomorrow, friends.